Alrighty, it's time for another episode of Cooking for Jeff. And today I am going to do a refrigerator soup. Basically whatever's in the refrigerator that I need to use up. I have this rotisserie chicken that I just used the boobs from. And so I'm going to pick this clean and use the meat for the soup base. And then at the farmer's market this weekend I got a butternut squash that we're going to be using in there. Let's see, we'll need some garlic. I think I've got an onion. I do indeed. What else? Ginger's fantastic in chicken soup. Let's pop over to the fridge and see what we can toss in there. I've got some Swiss chard left over from the weekend. In here I'm going to need a couple celery. Got some carrots in there. Let's see here. And I'm going to use some pre-made chicken stock. I've got one that I opened up in the fridge, and then I'm going to use one more. So I'll total about 6 cups. Ooh, I've got this yummy oregano too, this fresh oregano that I can throw in there. Coming together. So let me get this organized, and then I'll be right back. Alrighty, so first I'm going to get all of our aromatics together in our mirepoix. So grab my handy dandy knife. Get the garlic going. I want to get the onion chopped up. I want to get the celery and carrots chopped up. So let me pull all that together and I'll see you in 5. Alright, so in here we've got half of a yellow onion, fairly large. I've got my garlic minced up in there, and then I've also got 1 rib of celery. Over here, we've got the 3 carrots cut up into bite-sized pieces and 2 ribs of celery. Next up is our beautiful butternut squash that was lovely from the farmer's market. So to cut this, I'm just going to use the neck of the squash, the neck right here of the squash. So I want to cut off the base. And you can see it's all solid all the way through. So I'm just going to trim the edges, get rid of the skin. This is the easiest way to peel a butternut I've found. This is also a good way to peel it if you're going to make butternut chips. Yum, which we'll have to do one day. So I'm going to fix my camera here. The picture's pretty crappy. Alrighty, so there is our beautiful hunk of butternut squash that we're going to use in our soup. So I want to get these about the same pieces, same size pieces as the carrots, so everything cooks at about the same rate. So I'm going to get this chopped up and in the bowl, and I'll be right back. Okay, time for the ginger, which we're going to add once we get everything cooked up. We're going to add in some finishing spices, and then we'll add in this ginger too, so it gets a nice little heat from the ginger. As you can see, I'm basically peeling this pretty much in the same manner I did the butternut squash. I'm going to get all of that tough skin off of there. Watch your fingers. Nobody wants to go to the emergency room on an empty stomach. And I can't find my little zester. I don't know what I did with it. So I found my box grater. And I'm just going to put it through the large holes, so it'll be the fastest. And I just basically want to break down all these fibers that are so tough on here. I'm going to get that flavor released. So as you can see, I'm getting a nice little pile there. Be fantastic. So I'll just run my knife through there to make sure it's really little. Now that's going to break down into the soup. There's not going to be chunks of ginger or anything, but we'll just have a lovely sweet heat in there. Alrighty, let me grab my pot, and I think we are ready to rock and roll. Alright, so we're all ready to get this soup going. A little bit of prep work, it's like painting a room. Get all the taping done, and then the painting goes quick. So we've got everything pulled together. I'm going to get the heat on. medium-high. Actually, let's just go with like a medium heat. And then I want to get some of our favorite olive oil. About 2-3 glugs in there. And I want to get that nice and warm until it's just barely smoking, a little shimmery maybe. And then we're going to get our aromatics in there. So as soon as that's ready to go, we'll be right back. So I've got the veggies in there, the aromatics. And I'm just going to let those cook down for probably about 4 or 5 minutes until they're nice and soft. And then we are going to get in our crunchy hard vegetables, the bulk of our soup. Okay, it's been about 4 to 5 minutes, and these are getting nice and soft. And really what we're going to start doing here is to build the flavor up. This is going to be our first layer of flavor. And with soup, it's just a matter of a lot of tasting and just kind of punting and going and using your instincts. I do want some heat in there because it is winter. I want this to be a healthy soup, and I want it to make any colds or flus run for cover. So I'm going to pull out my very hot crushed red pepper and put in just a squiggle of these. And I want to get it in right away so it's on that first layer of flavor. And that heat will build right in there. Again, remember, I don't want to put too much in there, so we're going to have the ginger as well to add some different kind of heat. Okay, so we've got that in there. It smells amazing. Is there really anything better than the smell of onions? Unless, of course, you're adding butter in there. Well, coffee's good, too. Anyway, I digress. So we've got all of our orange veggies in there. We've got our crunchy squash. We've got our carrots. They're all about the same size. They're really rough cut pieces. This is a rustic soup we're making. And I just want to cook those in there until they start to soften a little bit. Again, probably another 4 minutes. Alrighty, Betty. So, how pretty is that? So that's been cooking down for about 4 or 5 minutes, and it smells amazing. And at this point, I want to add some of my next layer of flavors, which is going to be my ginger and my herbs. And I've got this fresh oregano that I saw at the farmer's market and squished it like this and smelled it, and it was so fantastic. It made me go yum. So I'm going to throw a bunch of torn up leaves in there, probably about a tablespoon or so, and then I'm going to put about half of this ginger in there. And you know what? Don't go to the store and buy oregano for this soup. This is all about using what you have around or what's available to you. You got some rosemary, try that. You got some thyme, try that. A good rule of thumb is go up to the herb, go wish it in your finger, then take a smell. Oh, my goodness, that's good. If it makes you do that, if it makes you go, yum, I want to eat that, put it in the soup. And, you know, start with a little. You can always add more. You can't take it out once it's done. So we've got this in there. We've got the ginger. Wow, I wish you could smell that. We've got the oregano in there, along with all our aromatics, our crunchy vegetables. Time to get some chicken stock in there. So I want a total about 6 cups of liquid. Use vegetable stock, chicken stock, water, and chicken stock, whatever you got around. So I'm going to get the first 3 cups in there. Each of these holds about 3.5 cups. So let me get all 6 in there, and I'll be right back.